to the tax information session for domestic college students for the 2025 tax year. The University of Chicago provides this information to students and parents solely for informational purposes, and it is not intended to be tax or legal advice. The ultimate responsibility lies with the tax filer. The Office of the University Bursar serves all university students and their support networks with a range of student account management resources to assist in paying for college. We have advisors ready to assist you by phone and email during regular business hours. We also have online resources which you can access 24/7 to help you stay on top of your student account. These resources include our website and the student portal. One of your main student account information resources as a student and parent or guardian is our website, bursar.uchicago.edu. It is designed to give students, their families, and support networks easy access to important student account information. We have many resources, including tuition and fee information, billing and payment information, university funding sources, student account policies, taxes, including educational tax benefits, filing assistance and workshops, student tax forms, Box 1 and Box 5, tax documents and timelines, financial wellness resources, announcements, and how to contact us. In the tax information section, you will see detailed information on the tax and incoming reporting forms a student may be provided with, as well as information on filing and filing assistance. We have added helpful links and resources, as well as frequently asked questions that we have compiled for your reference at any time. You will see a link to our tax information workshops, where you can view any upcoming videos or information from our office, as well as others regarding the tax year 2025. In the 1098T's tuition statement information section, you will learn who receives a 1098T, how to access and understand your 1098Ts, and more. Lastly, the educational tax benefits section is where you will find information regarding the student loan interest deduction, tuition and fee deduction, as well as the lifetime learning credit and the American Opportunity credits. We have organized the information for this presentation into the 4 steps to successful tax preparation. First, review your income sources. Then, review tax payments made and tax forms received. Then, review filing requirements and common deductions. And finally, how to file and where to get assistance. There are many diverse income sources used to file income taxes. For today, we will focus on those that are the most typical for a UChicago student. We will review taxable versus non-taxable, stipends, scholarships, and fellowships, and wages and compensation. Let's go over taxable versus non-taxable income. Some examples of taxable income include wages and compensation, wage and tax statement W-2, bonuses, awards, and fringe benefits, self-employment income, babysitting, lawn mowing, etc., investment on foreign income, bonds, dividends, bank account interest, reimbursement of expenses, travel, meals, etc., and includes federal work-study wages. Some examples of non-taxable or non-reportable income include financial assistance through student loans, and some military and/or disability payments. For more details on income sources, review IRS Pub 525. If you have received funding through a stipend, scholarship, or fellowship from UChicago or an external source, all or part may be taxable, even if you did not receive a tax form. Generally, these type of aid assist by scholarship to aid in the pursuit of studies for tuition and fees, stipend to aid in offsetting living expenses while studying, or fellowship to aid in the individual in pursuing study or research. If you are a candidate for a degree, you can generally exclude from income part of the assistance used for tuition and fees required for enrollment or attendance, fees, books, supplies, or equipment required for your courses, but you may not exclude from income any part of the grant used for other purposes such as room and board and insurance premiums. These awards are taxable. Not sure how much scholarship funding you received in the 2025 calendar year from UChicago? Access your financial aid information in the My.Financial Aid section of your My.UChicago portal. Academic year is different than the tax year. Remember that scholarship, stipend, fellowship also include funding from outside the university, third-party payments made on your behalf. For more information and instructions on how to file this income, go to the irs.gov tax topics page. Let's go over step 2. With the onset of the tax season, you should have already received several tax forms to assist you in preparing for taxes. Also, many of you have been making quarterly tax payments toward the upcoming tax filing year. Reviewing all tax forms received and taxes paid is an important part of successfully preparing your taxes. Tax forms you may receive include W-2 wage and tax statement reflecting wages, salary compensation, 1042S, foreign person's income. 1099, miscellaneous income, rent, legal fees, settlements, services provided. 1098T, tuition statement, tuition payments for qualifying educational expenses in the current tax year. 1098E, student loan interest statement to claim an eligible tax deduction. And 1095B, insurance coverage statement, health insurance coverage. Federal and state laws require individuals to pay estimated tax payments on self-reported income. If you owe more than $400 in federal taxes and/or $400 in Illinois state taxes, you should make estimated quarterly payments. If you did not pay estimated tax payments when required to do so, the IRS in the state of Illinois may assess a penalty for late fees. To learn how to make quarterly payments, refer to the following two worksheets and the online calculator that estimates payments. These forms are available after January 1st each year on irs.gov. The worksheets are Federal 1040ES and IL 1040ES for the state of Illinois. An important tax tip to remember is that forms include due dates and an explanation of how to estimate quarterly payments owed. For more information, review IRS Publication 505, Tax Withholding and Estimated Tax. Once you have determined your income sources and their taxability and review your tax form and taxes paid, you can then determine if you have a filing requirement. If so, you then should determine what areas you can apply tax credits to or deductions to your income. Below are the most common filing categories for UChicago students. This is not an exhaustive list, and students may have unique tax situations not listed below. U.S. citizens and residents receiving fellowships, stipends, wages, and/or claiming education tax credits utilizing U.S. tax forms and processes. Parents of dependent U.S. citizens and residents, parents of dependent undergraduate students claiming education tax credits, international students present in the U.S. as an F or J visa holder for any length of time or had a U.S. source income in 2025. You are probably asking yourself, do I have a filing requirement? Several factors influence filing requirements, but for most domestic and resident alien citizens under 65, income is the main factor, so you will want to review this chart. This chart will help you identify whether you should file a return based on your gross income and your filing status. For instance, if your gross income was at least $15,750 and you are single, you will need to file a return. For married couples filing jointly, $31,500 is the filing requirement for a return. If you are married and filing separately, $5 is the filing requirement. If you're the head of household, $23,625 is the filing requirement, and if you are a qualifying widow or widower, $31,500 is the filing requirement. If your parent is claiming you as a dependent child for tax purposes, you may still need to file taxes depending on the amount of your gross income. Consider the following information. Single dependents must file when your unearned income was more than $1,350, your earned income includes taxable scholarships, was more than $15,750, gross income, total of earned and unearned income, was more than the larger of $1,350, or your earned income up to $15,300 plus $450. Married dependents must file when your unearned income was over $1,350, your earned income was over $15,750, your gross income was at least $5, and your spouse files a separate return and itemizes deductions. Your gross income was more than the larger of $1,350, or your earned income up to $15,300 plus $450. Another section that you will find within the Tax Information tab pertains to educational tax benefits. In the Educational Tax Benefits section, you will view the various tax credits you or your student may be eligible for. We suggest you review the following tax credits for eligibility: American Opportunity Tax Credit, AOTC, the Lifetime Learning Credit. The Internal Revenue Service, IRS, explains these credits and deductions and rules for eligibility in IRS Publication 970 and can be accessed online in the following website. We highly recommend that you view this in its entirety. To qualify for EITC, you must have earned income from employment, self-employment, or another source and meet certain rules. View IRS Publication 596 for more information on the Earned Income Credit. To review all general education-related deductions, such as books and supplies, please review Publication 970. In the 1098T tuition statement section, you learn who receives a 1098T and how to access and understand your 1098T. All students who paid qualified educational expenses earned academic credit in the tax year, January 1st through December 31st of 2025, and have a valid I-10 and SSN on file in the My.UChicago portal will receive a 1090-T statement. This statement reports all payments made toward qualified educational expenses for the tuition and qualified expenses for the 2025 tax year charged to you by the university, Box 1. Lists all scholarships and grants or tax-exempt funds dispersed to your student account, Box 5, and cannot be deducted. You may also access additional information through our Box 1 and Box 5 web pages on our website. Students may create authorized users in their student portal and grant them access to 1090-T tax information, electronic bills, receive e-bill and mail notifications, set up the quarterly payment plan, submit online payments, and up to 10 authorized users may be added. As you can see here, this is where you and the authorized user will be able to access the tax forms our office makes available to you. These tax forms become available on January 31st of each year. This is your first point of contact when reviewing the 1098T. You will see that you can view all prior billing statements in case you need to reference specific credits. The 1098E tax document reflects the interest paid on qualifying student loans from January 1st to December 31st. Students receive a 1090E for each qualified loan. Those who have borrowed on dependents' behalves will also receive a 1098E. Beginning January 31st, the 1098E will be mailed to the address on file with your lender. A qualified student loan is the loan you took solely out to pay qualified higher education expenses. See Publication 970, Tax Benefits for Education, in the Form 1040 Instructions PDF to determine if your expenses qualify. If you paid $600 or more of interest on qualified student loans during the year, you will receive a Form 1098E PDF, student loan interest statement from the entity to which you paid the student loan interest. The final step in tax preparation is to determine which tax return is best for you and see if you need additional assistance. If you have any taxable income that qualifies under your filing limit, you must file a tax return. When reporting any portion of a stipend, scholarship, fellowship, you must include the amounts in your gross income on your tax return. In filing Form 1040, enter SCH with the taxable amount in the space on the left of Wages, Salaries, Tips line of your tax return report and taxable income on the Scholarship and Fellowships Grants line. If you receive a Form W-2 PDF, wage and tax statement in connection with amounts received as payment for services under a scholarship or fellowship grant, including the amount reported in Box 1 of the Form W-2 on the Wages, Salaries, Tips line of your tax return. For more information, refer to Publication 970, Tax Benefits for Education. Here are some free resources for filing your taxes. IRS Free File / Tax Assistance Softwares are listed below, as well as some local IRS offices and the Illinois State Revenue Office. VITA volunteers are individuals certified to assist in filing tax returns. Free service generally for those with an AGI of $60,000 or less. To locate the nearest VITA site, call 1-800-906-9887. Here are some paid resources that you can utilize for paying your taxes. Certified public accountants, enrolled agents, national tax prep chains, purchase online softwares, or professional tax preparers. If you choose to use a professional tax preparer, make sure they have filed student tax returns in the past, have passed state or federal certifying exams, give you an estimated price for services upfront, including all fees, will stand by their work and provide audit assistance or advice if necessary, and avoid preparers who base their fee on a percentage of your refund. Here is your checklist for the future. Keep a file with all scholarship payments and make note of types of payments, so you know what forms to expect at year end. Keep receipts of possible educational expense deductions, make estimated tax payments using the 1040ES form if required, visit the taxes.uchicago.edu page for more information, and collect all relevant tax forms. Be sure to go to our website's tax information page or the irs.gov IRS publications for tax guidance pages. Be sure to contact us with any questions that you may have. We wish you luck with your tax filing for tax year 2025.